I'm drinking salty lassi because I'm a lucky girl. So let's talk about my hair, okay, a little bit. I was walking to work and then I saw this girl and I'd seen her twice. So I saw her one day and I saw her another day, and one day her hair was up, right? And she smiled at me and it was really sweet. And then I saw her like I think yesterday, and I remember seeing her and she had really beautiful curly wild big hair. And I remember looking at her and thinking, wow, I wish my hair was like that, you know, because my hair at that point was straightened. And then yeah, I washed my hair yesterday and it literally just, I don't know, it just looks really big and wavy. This is it naturally. And I was like, wow, God literally heard my prayers, you know. I woke up with naturally wild wavy hair, which is something that used to be what my natural hair used to be like, but then I went ahead and decided to put some chemicals on it and get it smoothened, which is like permanently straightened. Worst decision ever, but here we are, no regrets. But yeah, so I like it just kind of wild and thick, just naturally, you know. I think there's this whole thing of making it look tamed and civilized, but who want, like, what's the fun in being civilized? Please, you know. And not the way forward. It's interesting because I watched this Netflix series called Self-Made Millionaire. It's about this lady who in the 1940s maybe, she was this black lady who became the first multi-millionaire woman to be a multi-millionaire. Hi England. Yeah, so it was a really cool series. Oh, there we go. I actually can watch series, which I thought I couldn't. But it was, yeah, it was really interesting about her life story, about how she became a multimillionaire, about how, you know, what it was at that time to be a black woman. I am blessed and highly favored. How are you? How are you? What? Jeez. My Instagram ID is Scorpio Sage 8. It's the same as my YouTube. But I recently watched this documentary about awakening your awareness and how the more aware we become, the more we can solve the problems that we experience in life, because most of the problems that we are experiencing are spiritual problems, right? It's to do with your spiritual energy. How fulfilled do you feel? Just give me a second. How fulfilled do you feel? I lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, most of the problems we experience right now are spiritual problems because it's to do with your energy, right? And how you feel in your heart. I am Indian, yes. So when we can understand our true nature, then we can kind of come at life from a different angle. It can help you learn how to connect more with life, with other people, and with God. Because what I've noticed and what I'm going to be making a YouTube video on is about the difference between Eastern spirituality and Western spirituality. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to give away what's in the video, but we'll talk about consciousness, because I think consciousness is something that is always worth exploring. It is fundamental. It is our truth, right? There was something really interesting that I learned from that documentary, which is that each one of us, I mean, of course this is a standard thing, right? Each one of us is a localization of the infinite consciousness in infinite wait. So there's hi Sanyam. each one of us consists of consciousness, right? Consciousness, awareness, God, source, universe, whatever it is. You are a localization of that consciousness. I am blessed and highly favored, thank you. How are you? Oh, well, I'm hoping you're a spiritual teacher. You know, it's so interesting you asked me that. Yes, I feel like I like to teach about spirituality, so I guess I am. Localizations of consciousness. That's what we are. We are just individuations of consciousness experiencing itself in different bodies, okay? This body right here, there's no special significance to it other than the fact that it's a vessel that is helping you go through this life. Of course, there's significance as in take care of the body, you know, look after the body, connect with the body, become embodied, listen to the body, etc., etc. But other than that, we are a spark in the infinite ocean of consciousness. Hey Greg, Katrina Boss. Still need to watch that video that you sent me. I'm excited to see what Katrina has to say, and I need to get the book as well. I shall start. My book, When God Was a Woman, came, so I'm really excited to read that and create some content regarding that. I remember reading it, and it just had so much great information. Yeah, I kind of forgot. It was like a year ago, so it's always good to like get a recap of that. And I think making notes can seem like a lot in the moment whilst you're reading, because you just want to read and get through the book. But I think making notes is the best thing, because especially for someone like me, when I want to reteach or like teach something to someone, you know, it's always good to have notes to kind of refer back to. Hey. But yeah, the one thing that I really liked from this documentary that I watched about awareness is that there are no discrete or independently existing things or people. Let me repeat that again. There are no discrete or independently existing things or people, which is to say, there is nothing outside of you. So when you think, right, when you think about what someone else is thinking, you're just creating that script. You're writing the script constantly. Thank you, Travel Diaries. I hope you like spiritual content. And thank you, James. So yeah, no one exists outside of you. So, you know, I was thinking it makes sense, because humor me, the more we change, right, like let's say the better we get, like the higher our vibration is, the better I don't want to like label it, but let's just say like the more higher vibrational people that come into your life, right? So I think it's really important to look outside of you and think, okay, what kind of people do I have in my life right now? What kind of situations, what kind of circumstances am I experiencing? Am I happy with them? Am I not happy with them? Are they healthy? Are they not healthy? Was this a Rupert Spira documentary? Yes, Rupert Spira was in the documentary. Yes, he was there. It had many people. It had the guy who wrote When When God Was a Woman, Conversations with God. What's his name? I love him. He's so sweet. It had loads of people. Can I speak in a Desi accent? Hi. I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to speak in a Desi accent. It'll just be difficult to kind of keep up with it, I guess, you know. But yeah, how interesting is that? There is literally no one outside of you. So the things that people say to you is just an aspect of you saying it to yourself, kind of. Does that make sense? So is there any need to take it personally or get mad at it? Because what if it just mirrors the kind of thoughts that you have? Because when we can create a relationship where we are not grasping onto every thought, right? Because we just let the thoughts be. And this is something that you can practice more and more when you do have a consistent meditation practice. A lot of people don't really have that, you know, they kind of dabble in it here and now, but consistency is key, especially when it comes to meditation, because you get to put yourself in a particular state of awareness and consciousness that is incredibly helpful to you. I mean, I love to do meditation early in the morning, start my day off right, because if I can start my day off feeling connected to myself, feeling at home with myself, then that sets the tone for the day, right? Then I can punctuate the day with this level of clarity, with this high level of clarity and presence. Because presence is key. Because when you are aware and present in the moment, you have the latest data available to you, right? Real-time data available to you. Okay, look, something's happening, someone is speaking to you, you are present, you are listening, you can, respond to them, rather than you're sitting, someone speaking to you, and you're in the past, right? You're in the future and you can't be present with them. Maybe someone is feeling upset, but you can't pick up the cues because you're just so lost in your thoughts, because you lack the focus to be able to be present with them. And what is happening is, what we're seeing is that a lot of people, their level of attention, like their attention span, is decreasing, right? Because with the advent of technology, with the advent of the technology with the advent of technology and social media and doom scrolling, it's harder and harder to focus. It's difficult to just sit and do nothing. I mean, I was speaking to someone recently who was saying how, he finds it really hard to just be, like, do nothing, or maybe do something like DIY. That kind of, there's not that really high level of dopamine hit that you're getting from that, I guess. People are just so prone to being bored. But boredom is actually a very low vibration. Let me get it up. There's I don't know if you guys have ever seen emotional frequency chart of boredom. Okay. Boredom to just I want to see boredom. Just give me a moment. Where's boredom in here? Hi, does meditation reduce stress and anxiety? How many minutes we have to do? Yeah, it does. It does reduce stress and anxiety. How many minutes? I would say try to do the more you like. If I was speaking in Punjabi, I mean, okay, you are Punjabi, Indian, so maybe you'll understand. Jinna zyada karte ya, unna hi घट. As in, like, the more you do, the less it is, Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Meditation, because look, meditation isn't something that you just want to confine to a specific time. For example, okay, 5 minutes in the morning and that's it, and then the rest of your day you go through it completely unconscious, because meditation helps you understand that you are consciousness, and it helps you connect to that part of you that is functioning from the consciousness, the witness, right? And then you get to be a witness to life, because that is the truth of you. The 6-second dopamine hit generation as a parent is one of the hardest things to manage in modern life. It is incredibly difficult. I think it's the easiest thing to just give your child an iPad or a screen and just put them away so that you don't have to deal with them, so that you can just do whatever you want. I think we're seeing a complete rise in that. And Greg, you have kids. I did not know that. How many kids do you have? How old are they? But yeah, let me find the boredom thing, because boredom, people get bored very easily in this time and age. I think it really stems from this like whole, we need, like, entertainment industry, we need to be entertained, we need to be entertained. Why am I on Facebook? Okay, look, I found it. Okay, so the emotional spiral. So as you can see, boredom is right there, right? Wait, let me just scroll down a little bit. Okay, look at that. So we have descending. This is literally the bottom of everything, right? So no will to live, death, guilt, apathy. Look, shame, victim. What are we all stuck in? A lot of us. Victimhood, right? Unworthiness, guilt, low self-esteem. What is the state called? came here to see me. Or maybe you'll pick something up unconsciously. What is the state called that your brain stops thinking and all the activity happens during superconscious mind? Theta wave state? Because we have A, alpha, I think, let me name the different, yeah, I believe it is theta. Brain state waves, brainwave states. Okay, so yes, delta is for deep sleep, and theta for light sleep and deep relaxation, alpha for calm and focus, and beta for alertness and active thinking. See, I believe a lot of people tend to be in beta, and when the more, so in your life, the more you have beta brainwaves, right, the more likely you are to suffer from things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, because you're using your brain so much. Your brain is not resting. And we were speaking about this, right, in one of the lives about what rest truly is, and I realized rest for the mind, so it depends, are we resting the mind or the body, right? Rest for the body is sleeping, and rest for the mind is meditation. And rest is, we don't get that, right? Because when you're reading, you're watching, you're talking, you're listening, your mind is not resting. So it's meditation, just sitting and doing nothing, that will truly help you rest. Not, I mean, you can go to sleep, but I mean, the people who can't fall asleep easily, people who tend to have insomnia, don't have a restful mind. They have overthinking. And Greg, no, you haven't told me about your kids. Oh my god, so cute. 15 and, oh my god, I love the names. Ethan and Zane. That is so cute. We need to work on our minds. We do. We need to work on our minds. See, okay, this is what I wanted to make I will be making a YouTube video on, about the difference between Eastern and Western spirituality. Because in Eastern spirituality, okay, so in Western spirituality, it talks about the psyche, the psyche, traumas, shadows, etc. It's more psychology than it is spirituality, really. And then Eastern spirituality talks about being the witness, right? Identifying with the witness, identifying with God. So Western spirituality is telling you how to fix the character in your story. Eastern spirituality is telling you that the story isn't even real, that it's not your truth, how to rise above the story. And the point of the YouTube video that I will be making will be how we need a balance of both. This is something that I've realized because I had moved away from Western spirituality, because yeah, of course, I was getting up earlier, 5 a.m. club, thank you, amazing book. I was getting up earlier, I was reading more, I was changing like my habits and stuff, exercising, yoga, all of these things, but I still felt disconnected. And I didn't understand why. And then I started learning more about Eastern spirituality and listening more to Eastern teachers, spiritual teachers, gurus and stuff like that. And that's where I managed to develop a connection to the divine more closely. And then now I have a balance, of discipline and devotion. Because your heart's involved in that. Your heart isn't really involved in psychology. It's all to do with the mind, but it's about the mind, heart, and soul that needs to be connected. And I find that Eastern spirituality helps you get there, for me anyway. Make a video on Donkey Kong. I don't know who Donkey Kong is. I don't know what that is. What is that? He throws a barrel and is looking for a banana. It's so good. There is a type of yoga, the way we sleep. Then I realized I have been yoga for 8 hours a day. One more thing, after how many hours after you sleep does the brain rest? So it's not about when you go to sleep. It's not about how long you sleep. It's about when you go to sleep. There's a certain time, I believe from 9 till 2 a.m. I got told that you need to be sleeping. You need to be asleep by, so that you can have the true rest that you need. Eastern means Indian and Chinese. I guess so. That's what I've been looking mostly at Indian, but of course, and Taoism as well. I don't know any other, maybe others exist, of course. Buddhism, I guess, is that Indian? He was Indian, right? So maybe. So Donkey Kong stole the girl, I look sleepy. Yeah, I didn't sleep. I've been sleeping late. I've just been on the go. Okay. Um, Here I am. Here. Oh, sorry. Here are a few suggestions. What do you think about ambitious? About being ambitious? I think it's a great quality. I think I like being ambitious in terms of how many people can I help? How can I help? How can I serve? You know, in that way, not just like, what is it? What are you ambitious about? Are you just ambitious about achieving an accumulation of material gains and things like that? What's the intention behind it, you know? Then go take some rest, Priya, lol. I can't. I'm at work right now, so I can't take some rest right now, but I will be. I will be, okay? There is research that says, I saw 2 years ago, that most people die at 2 a.m. It is the time your body is the weakest, and what you say. And what is your say on the late night sleepers and wakers? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not, no. Some people say that, you know, what they call then night owls, but I don't know how that can be true. How can that be okay? Because think about it, we have to be in alignment with nature. You get up when the sun comes out, right? And then you go to sleep and the sun goes down. Simple. Everything does that, right? Flowers bloom at a certain time. They shut themselves at a certain time, right? You have to work with that. The more you work with nature, the healthier you are, because you are nature. So I don't know how it works for them, but apparently it works for people. It's beyond me. Okay, see, this is why so many people in the West search for something in Eastern religions and philosophy. We lack so much of spiritual teaching in the West, although our science side of things is strong. Exactly, and that's the thing. I guess it's the meeting of the East and the West that is important, because you don't want to just go to the East and do something called spiritual bypassing. You know, you sit and you meditate and you become the witness, and then you go into your normal life, and then you get triggered by things and you don't know how to handle them. You can use both. That's what I found. I can look into the character of Priya and look in, okay, like what does Priya think? Who is it? Who are these thoughts? Where are these coming from? And be aware of them and do some introspection, whilst also remaining as witness, kind of using the two hand in hand rather than just one. What do I do apart from online? I create content. I do different things. Work sounds interesting. What kind of work do you do? So I'm a life coach. When it comes to improve yourself, okay, can ambition help? When it comes to improve yourself, see, that's another thing. That's another Western thing. It's like I'm constantly needing to improve myself, because then you can kind of get stuck in this toxic cycle of healing and not feeling like you're good enough in that moment. Because of course, I saw this thing and it was really cool. It said you can be a masterpiece and still want to grow, right? And still want to evolve. Does that make sense? So it's about really valuing yourself and where you are, and understanding that you're already whole, and accepting yourself, whilst also understanding that I can still dedicate, myself, and like want to grow and go along with change, etc., and evolve. I'm from Punjab. How you heal the inner mind and the unconscious mind to get the chemicals of peace in mind. Okay, how to heal the inner mind. Well, there are two ways, right? There's the work with the psychology of your mind, so the subconscious, the shadow, the traumas, etc. Work with the body, releasing emotions, shadow work, journaling, things like that. Therapy, maybe coaching. And then you can work with the like the Eastern, which is meditation, mantras, connecting with the witness, understanding, educating yourself on things like that. Both go hand in hand. I was once a sleeper who starts sleeping at morning 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the rest of the night I start studying at home because it was very quiet and there was no reason to go out. Wow, Akif, wow, that's insane. What about if you slept at 6 p.m. and then you woke up at 2 a.m.? Because I've spoken to a lot of people who do night shifts, and it really messes up their sleeping pattern. It's really difficult, especially when they're kind of alternating between night shifts and day shifts. I guess that's a separate thing, but if you're doing just night shifts, maybe it works for you, maybe you get used to it, but you miss life. You miss the sun. The sun is important for your health. It's integral for your health. You do night shifts, oh god. Night shifts are just unnatural. Your eyebrows, eyes smile. Thank you. Hi Shubham. How to overcome laziness and become connected to the world, feeling empty. Okay. How to connect to the world. So okay, I mean, connecting to nature is always a great start. Doing the normal things, see you, Greg. Doing the normal things like stepping out in nature, connecting to the sun, just being, okay? Focus on doing as little as possible. You are so bombarded. You're bombarding your senses with things at all times. We all are, right? We're consuming all the time. You need to go back to the basics. To connect to yourself, to be connected to the world, you have to be connected to yourself, because your connection to yourself mirrors your connection to the world. Does that make sense? So the more connected you are to yourself, the more connected you can be to the world. So connect to yourself, be silent, listen to yourself, become the witness, meditate more, work on being present, learn about these things, watch people who teach you. I know Advaita Vedanta teaches this, and different gurus and teachers and things like that. Listen to them. Mantras are amazing as well. To be connecting to yourself, to listen to yourself. What are you saying? Who is it? Who is it that's present? Who are you? What's your truth? Shubham's also doing night shifts. Oh god, Shubham. Hi. A man conquers the world when he conquers himself. It's true. It says somewhere in ancient Greece on a really big building, I think it was Aristotle. No, is it Aristotle? I don't know. Plato maybe? Who said, know thyself. Okay? And we can apply this in two ways. To be honest, I think he meant know thyself as in know your nature. Who are you? Tell me, who are you? Who are you beyond language and memory? Who is it that's watching this right now? What awareness is it? Delve deep into that, okay? Not just who are you as in like, who are you, the person, like your name, your identity, your story, your parents, your gender, your sexual orientation. Who are you beyond that? Hi Scorpio sages. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, I'm Godly. Welcome. Good to see you. It's very quiet and there is no reason for you to get distrusted because you can't go out and everybody sleeps, so the only option is to focus and study, but your bonds turn weak and not sunshine. Yes, exactly. Akif, it is going to affect your whole health, everything, okay? Especially when you'll be looking at a screen, I'm guessing, at that time. Don't do it. Like I said, go to sleep at 6 p.m., 6, 7, and wake up at 2 a.m. It's the same thing. No one's awake, around till 8. Okay, I mean, you have till 6. You could wake up at 12 at 1 a.m. and work. That's a great time. I am 28 years young, a soul with a purpose. In life, balance between nature and work is essential. For while work paves the path of progress and success, nature provides peace, calmness, and renewed energy. It also, Shubham, it depends on your definition of success. What does success mean to you? I think we just associate success with material, the material world, the objective experience, right? Having this, having that, achieving this, achieving that. But happiness, and because success would mean that you feel good, right? Success is like, okay, I feel good. Surely, right? It has a feeling associated with it. How can you be successful but not feel successful, not feel good, not feel happy, not feel these high emotions? So if we want to feel success, which means we want to feel happy and abundant and grateful and blissful and peaceful, then success cannot come from objective experience. It cannot come from outside of you. A lot of people think that because that's what you've been told. You've been told, achieve this, get this, get this, get this, get this, and then only then will you feel fulfilled. But how many people have that? How many people how many people have all the material success, they've achieved all of these things, they have all the outside things outside of them, yet they don't feel that sense of fulfillment in them? I'm not saying give that completely up. I'm just saying it's great to have, of course, but how do you feel on the inside? Are you investing as much time into your internal world? Because that is the most important thing. Because how you feel internally reflects how you feel externally, right? Your outside reality is an extension of how you feel internally. Just give me a second. Hi from England. Sorry, I just need to sneeze. Okay, it's not coming. Not anymore. Changed after realizing some abnormalities. So okay, good. Yeah, I'm glad, Akif, that you've changed it. It's definitely not good. Okay, I don't have girlfriends, so does it affect my mind indirectly how to overcome that no one to speak to? I mean, you don't just have to have girlfriends. There are many people you can speak to. Friends, family, right? I get it. I'm not downplaying the importance of how great it is to have a companion that you can have that separate relationship with, right? But don't pin all your hopes on a girlfriend. There are many people, you know, a lot of times on dating shows I would see someone get asked, oh, do you have love in your life? And they're like, oh, I don't have love. And I'm like, what? You have surely so many people. You have family, you have friends, you have co-workers, you have yourself, maybe pets, you know, everything. How can you say that you don't have love? Love isn't confined to having a partner, a romantic partner. Romantic relationships are very elevated, right? They're glamorized. Look at Hallmark, how much money Hallmark makes from this genre, rom-coms, holidays, Valentine's Day, things like that. Of course it's important, but it's not the only type of love that you can get in your life. Sashika Sukiji, how are you? I know it has been a while. Hope you're well. Shardi Kala hai. Unfortunately, this is ancient wisdom that doesn't apply in 2025. Peace and happiness come only with a lot of compromise and sacrifices. See, this is where you're wrong. Have you made those sacrifices? Have you made those compromises? Are you happy? So true. Hi, Luke. All good, lovely. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. How are you enjoying the British weather? I feel like you're not British if you don't speak about the weather, right? Like you said, if you breathe and generate oxygen, it will repair the internal body parts. There is a different world inside. Your body, your outside things affect stress, sleeping ability, no good food. It is, but I'm not just talking about the body. I'm talking about your spirit. What about your spiritual world? You know, your soul. How often do you feed your soul? Do things that make you feel good, you know, that make your heart happy. How connected are you to your heart center? We're not machines. We are not machines. A lot of we have a lot of programming that comes from religion, which can be morphed. For example, Christianity, right? Like Judeo-Christian influences, and then we have a lot of scientific influences, and I feel like you need to dig deeper. I feel like the two of them, they don't really kind of give you the understanding that is really beneficial to you in life. Science kind of treats us like machines, and religion can be very like fear-mongering and controlling, etc. Love is a beautiful part of life. Love is the best part about life. I certainly made a sacrifice to be a workhorse just to work was just to see people who rely on me happy in the process, lost myself to the process. Okay, on me to be happy. See, so you made compromises and sacrifices. Did that work for you? Is that making you happy? I mean, of course, it's good to give, you know. It's only because I was given circumstances I never asked for and I was given conditions I never wished. I get that. I get that. That happens to, you know, a lot of us. But I think, you know, what I like to believe is that you're not given anything that you're not able to handle. It's all sharpening the knife, okay? Like, if we think of a sword needs to be sharpened, right? It can only be sharpened with something else that's sharp. So you are being sharpened into a sword, something that is powerful, something that makes way, something that stands for truth and justice, and, you know, can help the world. Thank you, Aisha. But yeah, so you're suffering. Like, for example, my sister, she writes poetry, my twin sister, right? And she was reading her poetry to me yesterday, and she wrote a poem about how heartbreak opened her heart, okay? Because suffering became a sacred portal through which she could like creativity started flowing out of her. Because so heartbreak helped her become more creative because she started writing more, and creativity is the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious. Why do we love music? Why do we love art? Why do we love creativity? It's because it shows and expresses things that we would never see usually, right? That you wouldn't really speak about or see consciously. It accesses a deeper part of your consciousness that is just so attractive. Religion controls from evil. Maybe you can be happy by still being restricted by religion and follow your heart. See, I don't believe evil exists. I don't believe evil exists. Well, I get it, okay, but what you have to understand is that evil is not absolute. Evil is just a spectrum from good to evil. It's just one spectrum. They're just the opposite ends. There's just a disparity that exists between the two to show us, look, this is the light, right? How can good know that it's good and what is good if there is no evil? So evil is important. So let's not that I'm saying that you're doing this, but I think it can be easy to shame evil things and to judge them and to push them away, right? And to disown them. But one thing that I like to do is I don't associate myself with what's going on in the world. I don't get involved in it. Which sounds crazy, right? Because everyone would be like, oh, you need to be aware of what's going on in the world. There's this happening, there's this war happening, there's this happening. But I don't get involved in it because I understand the importance of it. I understand that God takes care of everyone and everything. God is the one concerned. God is the parent, right? What can I do? I'm just a meager human being, right? If I'm talking from that temporary place. But if I align with the witness, I'm like, okay, I'm God, I'm consciousness. That is just me experiencing myself in different ways. And I trust that part of me. That part of me is super intelligent. Far, far intelligent than what Priya could understand. So we don't understand why things are happening and we fight them. We're like, God, why, if you really exist, why is all this evil happening? Why are people being kidnapped? Why is war happening? But you don't see the bigger plan that God has. We don't know everything. We don't know anything, okay? I'm godly. No, everybody is welcome here. Aisha, you're welcome here. That's wise what you said about evil. Thank you. So, you know, lest we get drawn into that polarity, you don't want to become polar. You want to stay neutral because that's where God resides. God resides in neutrality. God doesn't think, oh my God, this is really bad, get away from it. Oh my God, this is really good. That's a very human thing, to run after pleasure and to run away from pain. But how well does that work for you? If I run towards pleasure, that means I will run towards eating chocolate all the time, eating fast food, emotionally eating, taking drugs, smoking, whatever, drinking, partying, you know, right? Because all those things are pleasurable. Just eating loads and never exercising. Because what's painful? Discipline is painful. you know, making the right decisions even though they hurt you, that's difficult, that's painful, right? Leaving someone because you know they're not good for you, that's painful. So it is the pain in that sense that we need to go towards. That's what they say in Sikhi, you know. Go towards the pain, the thing that is painful. I've made notes about this actually, which I loved. I just thought it was such an amazing point. I don't think it's in, is it here? I don't think it's here. But yeah, go through, like, the suffering is the key. The suffering is the portal. There is this duality concept, good or evil by whatever definition. God or evil, whatever it is, sometimes the concept of often wrongly defined and self-identified unnecessarily. It's true. I'm godly, she's not trying to make me a lesbian. It's okay, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm good, okay? I appreciate you, don't worry. There's dark and light, sun and moon, white and black, blood and peace, past and present, future and past, you know. You can choose one, both, or nothing. Evil happening because good people are silent. When good people be silent, the world turns evil. You know, okay, hear me out. There is good and bad that exists in everybody. Don't forget that people have a shadow side, okay? I've made loads of merci beaucoup, buveur bachassi. That's my attempt at the French accent. You know, I realized my French accent actually got better after I left and stopped studying French. But yeah, okay. There is good and bad in everybody, okay? I used to try to be a good girl. I tried to be obedient and subservient, and I used to be a people pleaser, and I thought this was being good, okay? This was me being nice. What did that lead to? That led to me having the biggest shadow side ever. I used to be passive aggressive. I had addictions. I used to be bitter. I used to be resentful. I used to disown. I could not even see my shadow side. I could not see how addicted I was to suffering, how addicted I was to being treated like crap, how addicted I was to chaos, to you know, working for love. Does this make sense? So everybody, no one is just good. We don't need to try to be good, okay? Because what does good mean to you? Does good mean to you being nice, being people pleasing, having no boundaries, right? It may not, but to some people it does. So everybody has good and bad sides, okay? Everybody has the shadow, but it's about integrating the shadow. It's about owning your badness, right? Owning the fact that you can be rude, you can be judgmental. Because when you can own something, when you can accept the truth of the reality, because all of us have that, okay? No, like I said, no one is good, okay? I'm not good. A woman at the Gurdwara, I have a tattoo here, right? I go to the Gurdwara and I sit there and I'm like, she thinks I'm a good girl. And she said to me, oh, you have a tattoo. She'd never noticed it before. And she said, oh, you have a tattoo. And then she went on to say, oh, you know, you kind of like give off this like, I'm a good girl vibe, but look at you getting your chest tattooed. And I remember thinking, you don't need to think that I'm good because I'm not good. And then I get that a lot. I get people say to me at the temple, oh, you're such a good girl, kini bibi Korea. And I'm just like, I'm not bibi, okay? I don't want to be bibi. I don't want to put myself in that box because it's limiting. So you need to understand that human beings are very complex. You're not just one thing. How can you put a human being and just give them one label? Good, bad. You can't. That is to deny, that is objectification, okay? Objectification is to take away someone's humanness. When we stop objectifying people, we can relate to them better. When we start saying, oh, this person's a good kid, this person's not a good kid, a naughty kid, this person's a really good person, oh my God, he's sexist, he's like this, she's like this, she's like this. You take away their humanness. We need to stop judging and labeling people. It doesn't help us, okay? Because we do this to ourselves. Not only are we doing it to them, it's the way that we relate to ourselves. We compartmentalize ourselves. We stop ourselves from being whole. You are everything. I'm bad, okay? I'm bad, I'm rude, I'm judgmental, I'm loud, I can be egotistical, narcissistic, you know, grandiose. I can be all of these things, okay? And I accept them. I love them. I'm okay with it. You can talk anything other than age-restricted content. The motto is correct. There is no such thing as good or bad. There is only karma that works for you and karma that works against you. Exactly. Are you Sri Lankan? I am not. But karma that works against you only shapes you, and your personality do karma that works best for you. Yes, exactly. Love that. You should be your old side. What do you mean? What do you mean? I should be the good girl? She doesn't appear Caucasian. I am definitely not Caucasian. Not everyone in the UK is Anglo-Saxon Germanic tribe. Thank you, Chiselman. So you are evil. Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I am. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not a psychologist. Kuri tusi Punjabi ha? Haan ji, Clayton ji, main Punjabi ha. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You can mind your business and treat others by keeping your life in line from people who try to keep hurting you. You represent yourself. That's a totally egoic, judgmental thing on her behalf. What is... You like butter chicken, but even in India right now, when one does not intend to do something wrong, that is always a good when one helps others, etc. whenever possible. Is subjective kindness done? Maybe they will or not. No, J-Dog, I refuse to be, oh, yeah, the lady who said that about my tattoo. Thank you for clarifying that, right? An egoic, judgmental thing on her behalf, right? And the thing is, I get it. I wasn't mad at her. I just find things amusing like that now. You know, I just thought, how lucky am I that I didn't live in a world where I had to think like that. Where I grew up with that mentality of, oh, if you get something tattooed on your chest, then it says this about you, you know? Because it's sad because I bet because she isn't projecting her self-views onto me, and it comes from her. So she lives in that little box, right? She lives in that little prison, and she's like, wait, I live in this little prison. It's normal for me to live in this prison. So why is everybody else not living like this, right? Because one of the common things that we assume is that everybody is like us, that everybody thinks the way that we do, which is one of the things that I used to do, you know. I still probably do. I just assume people get me, people think like me, you know, the way that I do, to the depth that I do, but of course they don't. But no, she's sweet, it just made me laugh. But yeah, I'm never, you know how liberating it was to not be a freaking good girl anymore. Oh my god, so liberating. I think learning about that was a life-changing moment in my life, where I felt so free to try not to be anything anymore. I can just be. I can be weird, okay? I can be awkward. I can be embarrassing or whatever, and not care, because I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not already. I'm just being. I'm not trying. People should act according to place. If not, you would be out of place. If you're a tomato and you look like a potato, and people will think in one thing, you should keep bag mango away from the bucket. Interesting. If not, the whole bucket should get rotten. Interesting. Oh, you have tattooed. Yes, I do have tattoos on my hands as well. I want to get more. Thank you, Megan. England has collapsed with immigrants. I don't know what's happening with this whole like immigrant thing, but honestly, not in my reality. I just don't even. And besides, you know what it is? Let me tell you something. When you have a spiritual connection, you are protected, okay? You need to be, that's why it's so important to be spiritually in tune. When you, for example, the Mool Mantra is so powerful. That's what I know from my experience, but it's incredibly powerful in protecting you from negative forces. I actually had a dream about this. I had a dream that so there was this thing that was possessing people, right? It kept possessing everybody. People would come to me and I wouldn't know whether they're possessed or not, and I couldn't trust them. And then it was really torturing me. It was really a really like torturous dream, and I remember thinking, how can I protect myself? Everybody just keeps seeming to be possessed by this thing. And it wasn't just people, it was social media, it was everything, okay? And then I had this thought. I was like, let me recite the Mool Mantra. which is a mantra from Sikhism. And I recited that mantra, and the thing couldn't touch me anymore. And it was like, what are you doing? Why can't I get through to you? Why can't I get through to you? And I realized that it was giving me spiritual protection. And then yesterday, I watched a video on the Mool Mantra, okay? It was saying how there was this girl who started doing the Mool Mantra, and she was walking, and there was this guy that started following her. So she started reciting the Mool Mantra when he was following her. And then the guy stopped following her and started following another girl. And then she reported this to the police, and then the police looked at the CCTV and they saw, yes, he's following her, but then he stops and he goes somewhere else. So they asked the man, they said, why did you stop following her? And she said, well, there were these two large Sikh men standing next to her, so I just followed someone else. And they're called Shaheeds. The Shaheeds. So they were protecting her. So the Mool Mantra is something that protects you, not just from the spiritual world, so from things like black magic, but also from negativity around you. So it's good to be spiritually protected, okay? I did immigrate to England, so yeah. I mean, we're all immigrants. Come on, man. Like, how can we own a country? How can you own a piece of land? Come on. I don't believe in geopolitical borders, honestly. I just think there should be no borders. Everybody should be allowed to go where they want to go. Why not? Things that you have to do, and you watch a lot of videos about the gather information, how to do what you do now, and you can do the thing, but didn't start, or you didn't start doing, but gave up midway. Rohan, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Could you clarify? I pray all gods in it, including anyone's, but nothing good happening in my life. Okay, Travel Diaries India. Maybe great things are happening in your life, but you just don't see them. I feel like I want to speak in Punjabi for a bit. If you can understand Punjabi. Look, thadi life de vich eh nahi bhi bahar ki ho raha, okay? It's not about what's happening outside of you. It's about how you see it. Someone who has a positive perspective on life will see blessings everywhere. Someone who doesn't will see them nowhere. Someone who lacks the ability to see beauty will see only the thorns of a rose bush. They will fail to see the roses, okay? Someone who sees beauty will see the roses and see the beauty, but see the thorns and be like, oh, okay, you know what? The thorns protect the rose. There is a beauty to them. Does that make sense? So it's not about that you don't have anything good in your life. You just don't see it. Because is that 100% true, that you don't have any good in your life? You have a life. You're alive. You have fingers that work. So you're able to text. You have eyesight to see. You have the ability to form a sentence, to speak English, to be connected to the internet and electricity. Are these not great things? We fail to appreciate what we have, and we always look at what we don't have. That's why we feel like we don't have good things. Oh, you would have two beautiful children if it wasn't immigration. That's so cute. Why are you? What are they? What are your kids? What ethnic background are they from, Greg? I am a life coach, and I teach spiritual concepts. I'm having this thing of like, shall I start identifying as a spiritual teacher? Like, I had this thing of like, am I being audacious? Like, can I actually do that? Hi.
Unit 16 is no one in. Can I leave it here?
Yeah, of course.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Could you put it in the room, please?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, where are you from? Tu Punjabi hai. Tu Punjabi hai. Hanji, don't touch your head. So, no worries. Someone who sees beauty of roses and forgets the thorns at the end, you will be hurt, and you know the proper way to get a thing. If not, you will hate everything once you hurt. Oh my god, Akif. But who's telling you to touch it? Why do you have to touch the rose? Why can't you just appreciate it? Why does there have to be a sense of grasping, of holding on to it? And look, if we have that perspective on life, there is pros and cons to everything, right? Right now, you could be getting a lot out of this life because you choose to see it in that way. You're open to it. On the other side, you could be like, oh my god, what is she talking about? Wow, she's weird, or I don't understand, or why am I wasting my time on YouTube when I should have been doing something else? you know? And you could come here and just start their mom is from Goa. Okay, that makes sense, Greg. That makes sense. Is this why you can speak a little bit Hindi? That's so sweet. Okay. Okay, however powerful and how one believes in the power of some verbal incantation, etc. It's not necessarily proof of that which is God. It's believing that which constantly helps strong beliefs. Interesting. Your best. How do you feel about the immigration police? The immigration police. Okay, like, if I just tell you how I feel about immigration in general, maybe that will make sense. I don't believe in stopping people from moving around. At the end of the day, we are all one human species, right? We are here. Migration has existed since the advent of time, since the advent of human beings. We have been all moving around. Not everybody was born, and ancestors didn't all exist in England or in America or any of these Western countries, right? And also, like, I'll just leave it at that, okay? We're all moving around. Like, we're meant to move around. It's natural. Why are we stopping each other? Who are we to say that we own this one thing? Who are you to say that you own a piece of land, that you own all of the water source, that you own the food? You own this, you own that. You own things naturally given by nature. They're not yours. You're a guest in this lifetime. Nothing is yours. It all belongs to God. So you running around pretending that you own things and stopping people, I think is childish. But I also accept that this is a part of life. So I try not to get emotionally involved in it. Of course, it's difficult at times because it's difficult to see people. And it's not just Indians, okay? It's everybody. Any kind of harm happening to anybody under any circumstance is upsetting to me. How to learn from the past and build a better future? Please tell me. I am Mandeep from Delhi. Welcome, Mandeep from Delhi. Mandeep, what I would say is be conscious in every moment, okay? Try to work on how present you are. And you can do this by having a meditation practice. Because a lot of times we act from the unconscious, okay? You're not being conscious. You're not consciously waking up and thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm attracted to this person, I'm going to go and do this career, I'm going to speak to this person like this. It happens from the unconscious. The unconscious tends to run you. So when you are conscious in every moment, you're aware, okay? Like the unconscious will go to, I don't know, pick up a cigarette, okay? Because unconsciously, I'm not saying that you smoke, but just go with the flow, okay? Go with me. Because maybe habitually, unconsciously, that's the habit you have. But the moment you go to pick up the cigarette, you can be like, wait, why am I actually doing this? Do I want to do this? Is this good for me? And then you may, that moment of punctuating your day with consciousness leads to better decisions because you can notice patterns. You can look at what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And then you can be like, oh, okay, I just want to pick up a laddu. Shall I really eat this laddu? I have diabetes. Maybe not. Put it down. Rather than like, nom, 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 nom. You know, your mind is just elsewhere. The topic of the life keeps to be changing. But it has a very spiritual focus. How to focus on studies. Well, learn how to focus. Meditation helps. What life means to me. Life means, thank you, Bridgewell, for that question. Life means, am I just really behind in the comments? Okay, no, I'm not. I'm good, okay. Life means to me experience. Life is consciousness experiencing itself. So, having loads of different experiences, accepting them all, not pushing anything away, being open to everything. Hi. GPT. I'm planning to do something, and I know it's important. I know once I give my all, I'll be successful in that, but I procrastinate a lot and keep delaying things even though I start something I stopped. See, a lot of procrastination, Rohan, doesn't come because you feel lazy. It comes because there are things stopping you. There may be a thought of like, do I really want to do this? Will I be successful in it? There's a fear of failure at times, you know? So it's exploring why you procrastinate. What happens at that time just before you think, okay, I want to do this, let me do X activity. And then you're like, no, what is that thought that comes up? No, what if I fail? No, what if I'm not good enough? What if I do succeed? What if this happens? What will people say? What is the thought that comes up? And work through that. Isaiah, okay, a powerful mantra for protection is in the Bible. I love that. Like, you can also use that, right? First of all, nobody likes studying. It's all about discipline. If you wanted, you'd be doing it. No, I love studying. It depends. If I'm studying something that actually, that I'm curious about, of course, I study for ages. But yeah, it does depend on what you're studying. But like I would say, if it's something you have to do, study to teach someone, try to make it fun, and work on just paying attention and focus in general, okay? Make it a thing about, okay, yeah, I have to study, but I'm going to be building this skill of focusing, right? And paying attention and being aware. And this is a very transferable skill. I live in the UK. How to learn from past and build better future. Well, like I said, be conscious. Be conscious in the moment of the patterns that exist in your life, make different decisions, and then you build a better future, because your future comes down to the choices you make now. If you are barehanded and the person opposite to you has a knife, what he says becomes rule. Not necessarily. Nothing belongs to us, totally agree. It doesn't, you know. Do I have chai? I had lassi, okay? I have salty lassi. I did have chai earlier. I do not smoke, no. I used to. Can't understand if I should do casual situations or I should look for long-term relationships. I am in MBA college right now. Pretty much confused with relationships right now. Gaurav, what I would say to you is, don't look for anything. Allow things to naturally flow in. Focus on being the best version of yourself, and then the best thing for you will come in, okay? Because when you're like, oh, I want to look for something, it's seeking, right? And it doesn't, like, you'll just naturally attract. Focus your energy on inside of you. Be the best version of yourself. Level yourself up in every single way. You won't have to look. Women will be flocking at you. I watch motivation videos at the moment. Feel motivated, but moment it's over, nothing, zero. How to sustain it? See, the thing is, motivation videos, they're good because they give you like a little dopamine hit, right? Like, oh, okay, cool. But it's action. So, travel diaries. Could you tell me your name, by the way, if you'd like to share? I think it'll be better than calling you Travel Diaries India. Take action, okay? A lot of people think that motivation comes from lightning striking, or you watch a video and you get motivation and you act. But take action. Do 1%, okay? Tell yourself, let's say if you have content, from my example, I have content to create, right? I could say, oh, Priya, just do 1 minute. Just sit down and write a title. And then what happens is you get into the flow. You get into a different state. Just trick yourself. You have to trick your mind. I'm going to do 1 second. Not 1 second, but let's say it's gym, right? You're trying to motivate yourself to go to the gym consistently. Put out your gym clothes. Make things easy for yourself, So, like, think about what it is that will be stopping you. A great book to read on this is Atomic Habits, okay? Atomic Habits is a really good one for this. It's changing your habits. But yeah, 1% improvement, that's it. Just think, I'm going to do 1% better than yesterday. Then you take action, and then the action leads to more energy and leads to motivation. Because if I just put on gym clothes, I'm not going to be like, oh, let me just sit down and do nothing. I'm going to be like, oh, okay, let me just go to the gym. I'll just enter the gym, and then I'll come home. Then you're at the gym, and you're like, oh, actually, let me just work out for like a minute. Maybe let me just do one machine. Let me just do another machine, you know? It's about tricking the mind. How to protect teenage and young age people, please tell me as well. Okay, Mandeep, you can only protect people so much. God protects them. God protects everybody, okay? People, like, your kids are not an extension of you. They're not your property. I get it. Of course, we want to protect them. But God, first of all, God protects them. Second of all, trust them. Trust that they have the ability to take care of themselves. They have the wherewithal to protect themselves. If you show them that they can't protect themselves, that they need your help, right? All the time, they become dependent upon you. How will they ever take care of themselves in life? Mommy and daddy aren't going to be always around when they're adults, coming in and saving them. Like my brother was being bullied at school, right? In primary school. He was in year 5. And then he would come home and he would tell me, and it would really upset me. And one day I went up to the kid and I said, what are you doing? I said, you don't speak to him like that again. You do not bully him, okay? Stay away from him. And then I was 22. This child is 11. Okay, his mom comes knocking at the door, and rightfully so. She says, why did you say this to my kid? You're a 22-year-old woman. You're speaking to a child like that, you know? I didn't shout at him. I was just speaking in a very assertive way. But she said, you should have come to me. And I said, I agree. I should have come to you, you know? And I apologized. And then I said to my brother, look, you have to handle your own business. I'm not always going to be there to protect you. And now he handles his own business. It gives them strength. It makes them trust themselves. Things are going to happen. Life is always up and down, okay? They're going to get hurt. It's okay. They just need to know how to get back up. So try not to, like, control. Now you agree with limitation when you have disease but not day-to-day life activities. Yeah, procrastination can be due to childhood traumas. To focus on studies, do this. When you're reading, have the sound of a bell play on your phone every 2 minutes. Have the same sound play when you sleep. Wow. That is so cool. I will be trying that, ma'am. I am 24, worked in BPO from age 20, but right now I have 2 offer. 1 for bank, which leads to start a new career from a very small position, and 2 is offer again from bank, but BPO. Okay, focus. How does that no, it's not Starbucks packaging. It's from an Indian place. It's based on research that found we absorb information when we learn in our sleep, not when we are actually doing the research. Jesus Christ, that's crazy, Greg. Wow. So does that also mean if I were to play like an audiobook at night, that would be absorbed in me? Gaurav Jane, don't eat garlic onion, you'll be looking for relationships. Yes, it's oh, am I really behind in the comments? Oh my god, okay. Hi, Deepak. Oh, Deepak. Hi. Nice to meet you. Procrastination is when you're not able to empty your bowels and come out. Plus, I'm able to read quicker. Wow. So play the bell whilst you're studying, and then play the bell every 2 minutes or whilst you're sleeping. Interesting. Was your brother bullied due to his My brother? No, my brother doesn't have a turban. He just happened to be smaller than this boy. This boy was bigger than me. Not that I'm that big, you know, I'm only like 5'3". The importance is to have a sound like a bell that you play when you study and also when you sleep or meditate. Look for Andrew Huberman and White. He explains. Okay, interesting. Where did I get my fake accent? Oh, from living in England. I'm from England. That's really cool. So also when you study, also when you sleep or meditate. Okay, so meditate, have a bell playing. It kind of reminds me of the meditation, the Vipassana meditation that I used to do. Because it would play a bell, and then it would kind of help keep that focus all the time. I am not married, no. Samuel, I'm well. How are you? Why Guruji the Khalsa? Why Guruji keep it there? If you keep touching your hair for a few minutes, you lose it. What you mean? Really? No. Don't lie. Oh my god. cancel these. Can you boost your voice, please? Sorry, am I not talking loud enough? Is the UK good? I mean, that's a very oh my god, what? I just, I'm gonna tie it up and just not touch it because I'm just wow, did not know that. I feel like I'm touching it all the time. The bubble. Okay. It was an answer to a comment. Oh, okay. What if I want my sound? So would I play the sound of the... Ugh, I keep touching it again. Sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing to you guys. It's my hair. Okay, I choose to not believe that. I don't think it works to play audiobooks when you sleep. The listening or reading is done when you're awake. The absorption is done when you sleep. The bow is played during both periods. Okay. Thank you for that, Greg. Greg. You look gorgeous. Thank you, J-Dog. What if I want my sound to be rain? Is it true if you touch your hair again, you risk more hair fall? Yes, I work in England. अच्छा कैमरा धुंधला सा धुंधला सा है क्योंकि मेरा स्क्रीन एक्चुअली मेरी स्क्रीन टूट गई है स्क्रैच वो है क्रैक्स है स्क्रीन में ते फिर ताही ऐसा लग रहा है धुंधला धुंधला जिहा माफी the tattoo says Nirbal, which means fearless. I'm gonna definitely start playing a bell. I guess maybe there's something on YouTube. Oh, okay, Tibetan bowl sounds. So play the Tibetan bowl sounds whilst I'm studying. Okay, I find that sometimes I'll play them. What about binaural beats? I don't really listen to them. अच्छा समझा मैं कोई बात नहीं कैमरा बैड में है सही हो जाएगा कैमरा बाद में है सही हो जाएगा I have a European dream. Is it really worth what do you mean? European dream of what? Traveling to Europe? I talk a lot but say nothing. Camflix, maybe you hear nothing, you know? You know how they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Everything is in the beholder, right? Your listening ability, your ability to notice value. For example, let's say I have a diamond. I find a diamond. I take this diamond and I take it to a butcher and I say, how much for this? How much do you think it's worth? And then he's like, oh, you know, he doesn't really tell me a great price. I take it to a gardener and I say, how much for this? Like, what do you think it's worth? Can't tell me a great price. It says like, I don't know, £4. Then I take it to someone who's I don't know, owns a factory. I'm like, how much do you think this is worth? And they're like, oh, this much, like £5. Then I take it to a jeweler, a diamond expert, and the diamond expert will know how much the diamond is worth, right? So maybe it's not what I'm saying, but it's in who's hearing. Maybe it just doesn't align with you. Does that make sense? Where did I do Vipassana? I did Vipassana. I didn't go anywhere. I would actually like to go on a meditation retreat. I'm gonna make it happen. I just have some other things that I need to... Actually, you know what? Forget that. It's going to happen very soon. I did it online on YouTube. I would just type in Vipassana meditation, and then it would... I would sit, and then it would say, okay, just listen to the bell, and then I would listen to the bell, and then... It's a different type of meditation, right? There are many different types of meditation. Please don't tie your hair. I have to because apparently, you know what? Let me Google this, okay? Let me Google. Is he just trying to make me not touch my hair? Which is probably a good thing, to be honest. Let me open another ChatGPT because I want my... Sorry. Oh, okay. Touching your hair frequently doesn't make it fall out, but it can contribute to breakage and hair weakening if done excessively or roughly. Oh, okay. Oily buildup, hair breakage versus hair loss. Okay. Tips to protect your hair. Keep your hands off your hair when possible. Okay, cool. I guess we are. I type like a coder. How can you claim to have done Vipassana? I mean, I thought if I, as in like I just did, I didn't do a Vipassana retreat. Is that what you thought I did? No, I didn't do that. I just did it online. It was a meditation. I thought, would that not be called Vipassana? I can't call that Vipassana. I am at work, yes. Precisely, that's what I meant. अरे बहुत तेज कंप्यूटर का आप बटन दब रही हो है उतना तेज तो मैं पेन पेंसिल से नहीं लिख पाता पेन पेंसिल से औका होता है ना लिखने के लिए you look fine. We told you not to touch you. Don't listen to me. I did 10-day Vipassana retreat. It was kind of lame. Why was it lame? Tell me more about it. And I'm from England, Jackson. Are the retreats worth it? The meditation retreats? I would really like to do one where I'm just really silent. No talking. I just crave to be silent sometimes. And not talk to anybody, and which is funny because I am talking on live so much. It's free. आप इंडिया कब आ रहे हैं? इंडिया तो वापस आई हूँ. मैं जुलाई में इंडिया थी. She types everything on the internet. Is it good to touch food with hands? Is it good to see with eyes? Whatever am I imagining going wild? Why did you keep quiet when your brother's bully mom scream at you? I didn't keep quiet. I told her that I said I just didn't think that you would say something to your child. I just didn't think that about you. And then she was like, but why? You didn't even try. Like, you should have come to me, which is true. I should have gone to her. I shouldn't have gone to the child myself. And then she was like, still going on about it. And then I said, look, and then I brought my brother over and I told my brother to tell her the experience that he was having. And then, yeah, he said, he tried to take me down whilst playing football. He put me in a headlock and stuff like that. So she understood. But I'm not going to get defensive or react from my ego. I like to keep my cool. There was no need. I understood where I was in the wrong, I guess. We expected stuff to be more esoteric stuff. Okay, interesting. Have you ever heard of mystery schools or been to one? I'm really interested in going. A meditation retreat or yoga retreat is one of the best things you can ever spend your money on. Okay. Why do people put you up so much? Gosh, I don't know. Ask them. Scorpio. You're a Scorpio too. Love that. Falling for you again. Oh my god. Jithanand. Can you teach any meditation techniques here? Any meditation techniques? I am by no means a meditation expert, Okay, you could sit quietly, close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths. And what I like to do is just listen. Just listen. And I find that if you listen well enough, you hear silence in your body. Just silence everywhere, and just keep listening to the silence. And before you know it, you're feeling peace. Vipassana was totally free, 10 days stay plus food. What? Where was this? थोड़ा totally बोलती है. Totally. Oh my god. अच्छा, मैं हिंदी अच्छी बोल लेती हूँ, पर इंग्लिश मेरी totally है. क्या बात है? मुझे तो हमेशा लगा भी मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, अभी वीक है, और मुझे लगा अभी मेरी इंग्लिश तो बहुत ही वधिया है, अच्छी है। क्या बात है। Yeah, he was bullied, I reckon, due to his physique, maybe. Yeah, because the boy was really big. Jeans or slacks? Neither. If you meditate, you fall asleep. I find that happens a lot at first. My mom would complain of that, but you just keep practicing, right? It's a practice. It's like going to the gym. You're not gonna get it. Kind of. Should I stop now? You know. So the thing with meditation is being present, right? So you can meditate with your eyes open. They don't need to be shut. And then what happens is you realize how to just be meditating all the time. Because it's just being silent. It's just being present. It's effortlessness. It's doing nothing. Why do women wear every men's attire like t-shirt, shirt, coats wrong, but men won't wear sari, dupatta, and others? I don't know. It's because women can be, I guess, maybe it's a fluidity, maybe sexual fluidity, I think, maybe, I don't know. Women tend to be more fluid than women. I mean, women tend to be more fluid than men in things, I guess. That's why, maybe. बढ़िया. हाँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, बहुत सॉरी अगर मैं गलत बोल दिया हो तो. नहीं, कोई नहीं. I appreciate everybody's opinions. Have I tried the candle technique? I haven't yet. No, Greg. You know, because I don't use candles. I want to get one that doesn't have any smell to it, because they're the best ones, right? Like a plain one rather than a scented one. Because then they release chemicals and stuff. I just don't have them. I kind of get scared of putting them in my room. And at the moment I have my brother, I'm making excuses. I haven't. You like to meditate deep underwaters? Oh my god, yes. It's a feeling of senselessness you get, you know? Or even like floating on the water where your ears are in the water and you're just like this. So much peace. Chidanandji, please listen to what I'm saying sometimes, okay? What's your name, Scorpio Sage? It's Priya. What time is break? Break. Oh wow, break should be soon. Would you condone your husband wearing a salwar kameez or sari? Probably not. I guess that would be weird. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I get it. It would be weird. मुझे थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ आ रहा है कि आप क्या बोल रहे हैं. शायद आप योगा की बात कर रहे हैं. आप योगा की अध्यापक है क्या? Sasika Keshuvji, so good to see you. So long. Good to get something in. No, but if you are like balanced in the way that you are in the water, not like on one side or the other side, then I find that it doesn't get anywhere. Chidananda ain't stopping. Yeah, you come live daily. I try to. Priya, there are different stages of meditation. One can meditate even when one is sleeping. Yes. Called Soyasan while listening to the healing frequency. Is it also, it's a yoga nidra, right? Where you're meditating when you're sleeping, when there's a sense of awareness that is happening. Greg, I will. I have. Oh my god, I will. Okay. I'm gonna make a point of it to go get one. Maybe I'll just order one, you know? Let the balance rise. Missed you, Didi. I missed you too, Keshav. Welcome. I hope you've been well. It's been so long. I tend to go live now regularly, so you should be able to see me. If you put my account on notifications, maybe you'll see them more often, you know? Yoga Nitra acha hota hai. You meditate via your channel. No, I don't really meditate on here. Yes, मैं इंग्लैंड में रहती हूँ, so ताही मेरी हिंदी इतनी फ्लुएंट नहीं है. मैं पंजाबी बोल लेती हूँ, पर मैं पंजाबी हूँ. I found that the Miracle of the Mind app by Sadhguru can help a beginner with meditation. Interesting. See, at the moment I've been doing the app Waking Up by Sam Harris, which I found really useful. Staying present. Oh wow! Oh my god, the Osho teaches technique for staying present and sleep later in the. I'm gonna have to get onto that part. Nom 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 nom. I love butter chicken. I don't know what to do with life. It's tough out there to survive in this world. Nothing makes me feel like living. Oh, I'm really sad to hear that. But I would say congratulations. It sounds like you're at the pits of life and you can only go up, right? So things only tend to get better. So surrender to God. That's what I would say. Just surrender to God and be like, God, it's all up to you now. I give up. I stop trying. You are the caretaker of me. I'm happy with the way you keep me. And see how that works for you. हिंदी अच्छी है आपकी but English ठीक ठाक है. AKG. क्या बात है. Thank you. Punjabi women go pear-shaped after marriage. Interesting. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna have to call it a day. I have a aloo the paratha that is waiting for me for lunch. Yeah, I'm going to talk from personal experience. Give yourself to something bigger than yourself, my friend. I love that. Butter chicken आप लोग क्यों where are you walking? Okay, yes. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to cut it short. It's time for lunch. Thank you for joining as always. I'm wishing you a blessed day. Please don't stop talking. I'm sorry, Keshav. Keshav, I will be live, okay? Like I said, just put me on notifications and I'll be back, okay? I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow. Around this time, okay? Maybe a little bit later, like 1-ish. Okay? I love you. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm going. Goodbye, dear. Greg. I will. Once you... Okay, I gotta go.